and investigating. There's like photography that shows colors and sonograms that also can be very effective. There are, I think it behooves everybody, particularly people like yourself that have history in the family, to look into the no radiation options, even if you want to do once a year the mammogram and every 6 months something else, or the mammogram every other year. This is something that you should discuss with, your doctor or your family, or just do your own soul searching. But definitely there are beginning to be very effective diagnostic tools that have no radiation. So, it's just something to put into your frontal lobe there as we begin to explore more options. It's like, sorry.
It's okay.
When a CAT scan,
yes,
is radiation. An MRI is no radiation. Doesn't mean that they're both equal, but, it's another form of seeing what's going on, and you just kind of weigh and measure it as you move forward. You could kind of rotate things.
Yeah, I when I was reading your book, and I had to laugh. It kind of it's funny, but it's not. After you going through the hysterectomy and everything, and they wanted you to have the MRIs and all that, the CAT scans, and you thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have radiation on top of everything else. But you went through with it because you knew how important it was. And a lot of people are scared to do that as well. I got to have this done, I got to have that done, what are we doing here? And waiting so long after you've been diagnosed with cancer, telling you have to wait 2 weeks to see the next doctor, and all the thoughts going through your head. I go through that with just having my mammogram done, waiting for my doctor to call me and tell me that my results are clear. I can't even imagine having cancer and waiting that long to find out what's the next step.
You know what? When I was told that my endometrial biopsy came back bad and they sent me to a gynecologic oncologist, the oncologist only sees new patients on like Friday.
Certain days, yeah.
Yeah, and here it was like Monday or something. So I said I insist on speaking to the doctor. So at the end of the day, the doctor called me, and I said, listen to me, I know I'm not going to see you till Friday, but I'm not going to wait till Friday for you to book an OR, because we already know I got something that needs to come out. So
right.
Book the next OR, and it turned out to be the following Wednesday. But if I waited until Friday, the first ER, and then then she had to look at what was the next available operating room, it would have just protracted it even further. So this is all part of being a medical consumer, and we have all that. I mean, I have really recorded for women, like a list of things that I learned the hard way. You send in all of your paperwork via fax to the doctor before you go. You don't have to start doing it there. Always go with somebody, because your head's going to start swirling. You're not going to hear half of what they say.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember to ask all the questions. Keep a list of questions. Go with pencil and paper so that you can write down. Don't be afraid to say, how do you spell that? What is that? So when you go home, you can go online and really start studying what they're telling you. Because let me tell you something. When the doctor calls and tells you you have cancer, at the end of the day, he goes home and eats dinner with his family. You go home and eat your heart out with yours. So it's your job. It's your life. You must be proactive. You may not feel like it. You may be scared, but don't be infantile. Get
right.
proactive. Now you've got something you've got to be in charge of, and surround yourself with people that are going to help you, not people that you have to constantly reassure or be strong for. Those are not the people to surround yourself with. You need a posse of people that are going to be in control, not make it about them, make it entirely about you, and everybody has a job to do. And the job is to get you well and to get you cured.
Yes, and nobody's going to look out for you more than you yourself.
Exactly.
You know, to any doctor, to any hospital, you're a number.
You know, they all do their best, but doctors are very busy people, and they have problems of their own. And and they're all subscribing to this philosophy. If you hear a horse galloping, don't look for zebra. It's probably a horse.
Yeah.
So you can very easily slip through the cracks if you happen to be a zebra, and that was my problem because I was too young and too thin to fit the average profile for a woman that gets uterine cancer. But now younger and thinner women are getting it, and we're going to see more and more of that. They're ready. I'm going to have to go, ladies.
Yes, I know, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us and talk about it. I think it's an extremely important issue in many lives, and I want to say God bless you for doing this. I thank you from my heart, and whatever we can do to help, let us know. I always tweet out about Cancer Schmancer and, you know, going to the website and everything, and I will continue to do so and spread the word, and hopefully when we air this, there will be many, many people that will go ahead and take that step to do what they need to do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your support. I'm sorry to both of you for your losses.
Thank
you. Turning pain into purpose is healing. So, you know, what you're doing in support of organizations like Cancer Schmancer is very empowering. And it helps make sense out of the senseless. So I applaud you ladies as well, and I wish you good health and God's blessings and a happy and a healthy new year.
Thank you, and we wish the same to you and your families. Okay.
All right.
You have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you. You do the same.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that was quite the interview, wasn't it, Pam?
It sure was. Anybody that listened to it that had any hesitation about getting their self checked, if they feel there's something wrong or even if there's nothing wrong, to be preventative, I believe that they need to go and do what they need to do. That's all there is to it. And it's not just the women, it's the men too. My husband is horrible. He never, ever goes to the doctor or goes to the dentist or anything like that. The only thing he does is go to the eye doctor. And every year I go to, you know, get my breast, my mammogram, my, my pap smear. I get my eyes checked. I go to the dentist. I get my blood test. I call it the old people's test to make sure that everything is okay, like my cholesterol and, you know, stuff like that. So besides going to my specialist that I go to. And is it fun? No, it's not fun. Do any of us want to go? No, we don't want to go. But if you want to live a long, healthy life, then you need to go.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, when you're in good health, there's no reason not to go and take the preventative measures to keep something from cropping up later on. And I know we all are guilty of it. You know, we think we're in great health, and you know, and as long as we're in good health, and believe me, I'm guilty of that. You know, think, well, I don't need to go to the doctor because, you know, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm doing great. But, you know, you hear all the time and all too often, you know, friends, family, they will go to the doctor for a routine checkup and then something will turn up. And and they were just going on for their yearly checkup, not thinking anything of it, and lo and behold, they're surprised something does come up. And so it's just so very important. And, if people would make it a habit to get the mammograms and to get the pap smears and men to go get their annual physicals, I mean, it really would head off a lot of things. Or at the very minimum, if there is something that's cropped up, you can catch it on the front end and hopefully be able to, get rid of
Stop it in its tracks, no matter what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so important. And Fran, she made some great points about how, how important that is. And you could just hear the passion in her voice as she was imploring, the listeners as she talked about that. And she was very, very lucky because she went through numerous doctors and, to no avail, and finally stumbled upon one that really did help her and did diagnose her properly. I mean, she was very, very lucky, very lucky.
This doctor actually listened to her. They didn't just, she told them what she was feeling, what she was going through, and the rest of them dismissed her with, oh, you're premenopausal. Oh, let me give you a pill for this. Let me give you a pill for that. Oh, you'll be fine. And all the while she was getting worse and worse in what she was feeling and what she was going through. And thank God for her perseverance, and thank God for that doctor that listened to her and did that one step ahead and did that other test, the DNC, for her to have her screened and see if she did have cancer. And that's where, like with my mom, as I mentioned in the interview, she never went for her mammograms, and she all of a sudden felt a lump, a small one, in her right breast. That's when she decided to go to the doctor and have a mammogram. And when they did it, here the one in her right breast that she felt was benign. But then they saw something in her left breast that she never even felt. And this is something that ended up being futile. I mean, she had her breast removed, a mastectomy, and she had radiation and chemotherapy, and for the next 2.5 years of her life, it was just a living hell because all she had was moments of time where she felt even an iota of feeling good because of all the chemicals going in her body. She was going through hell. And it killed us as family members, as her children, to watch her go through this. But we just kept thinking, this is what's going to help her. This is what's going to save her. And then eventually we got the bad news that it wasn't. It spread into her liver and her bones, and there's nothing you can do at that point, and it was just a waiting game.
Yeah.
So I don't ever, ever want my children to go through what I went through, and I will go have every test that I need to get done so I can live a long, healthy life and not have to die in front of my children's eyes like my mother did in front of me.
Yeah, it's, and I think a lot of people don't think about it like that until they've actually experienced that. They've had the experience of losing a loved one to cancer. And it's like I said in the interview, cancer is not prejudiced. It doesn't know an age. It doesn't know, it doesn't care who it targets. And so all the more reason why, we have to fight it with everything we have, because it is a very scary disease, but it is treatable in a lot of cases, and it is preventable in a lot of cases, provided, we do our part.
Exactly. So any of our listeners, if you have any questions, please feel free to go to cancerschmancer.org, and that's spelled CancerSchmancer.org. There's a lot of information on there besides, being able to donate or getting your own Trash Cancer T-shirt, because, of course, those funds go to cancer research, and there's preventative measures on there. There's also, I noticed the other day when I was speaking with somebody else, they have a picture on there on the front page of baby shampoo. And here you use this on your children for so many years, and it's filled with formaldehyde.